So I wanted to follow up on last week's talk. If you liked what I just commented on, by the way, please hit the like button, give me some hearts and some love, and get some traction. All right, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it. But this week, I did want to just follow up on my comments last week about women's clears, and this is also true for boys clears too. But I got some comment. I think it was Greg Bernhardt. Was he giving me a hard time? But he was like, "No, you're looking at this from you're looking at girls clears from a boy's perspective." And yeah, I am. Because one of the things that in the women's clearing game, one of the things that I see is I see a lot of fear in the women's in the approach to women's clears. Okay, the the I the comments that came out of what I said, all right, about how, like, in the clip that we used there, there's just this weird semi sort of clearing option, like opportunity, but then it's driven out of a goalie coming too far out of the cage and then dropping the ball, and oh, maybe she steps on it, and oh, maybe she gets stuck in a free position behind the shooter, blah blah blah. Oh my god, that's all driven out of fear, and I don't coach like that. Okay, I don't coach for what happens if this goes wrong. I coach for the opportunity we're trying to get ahead of, like get towards. And what happens is that I think that thinking is so the thinking of the fear of what goes wrong is so pervasive in the girls game that we see girls who are not as physically capable put into positions that are more choice demanding than in the boys game. And then it's like a bit of a gong show, right? Even really talented goalies who are super strong and they are put into a situation that is more complex than the boys see. And I get it. Part of that is caused because the girls can't score. The goalies can't score, right? So that changes a little bit of the draw and dump mechanics. It's not as clearly defined. Like someone isn't going to jump your goalie maybe as quickly as they could. However, I do see in the high school game a lot, even at the highest levels, situations where that attacking player will jump the goalie. Right. And now that goalie has an option to pass. But because people are worried about the goalie like coming out of the cage and possibly dropping the ball and oh, maybe she steps on it, whatever, they don't even risk it at all. The coaches don't even coach the options. All right. And then what happens is the goalie, you get some ride going and the goalie gets stuck in a weird situation. And then guess what happens? Yeah, she does drop the ball, or the pass gets picked off, or because she's making a 40-yard pass. I am looking at it from a boy's perspective, but I'm also looking at it from a football like progression standpoint. I'm looking like the women's lacrosse game will change drastically when a coach gets into a position of power, of influence, who has a football mentality and starts looking at their quarterback or at their goalie as a quarterback. And coaches that girl up on becoming like and having like throwing mechanics and turning her hips and stepping and just getting strong in the upper body to be able to make these things happen like this. And then teaching their team to operate more in like, okay, when this girl jumps, then we're going to bring a girl back and you're going to throw it backwards across your body. And you're going to have to rotate. Like I'm doing a goalie audit tonight for a goalie where the clearing issues they're having is based fundamentally on their mechanics. And that's caused by a bad clear in the boys game. And it's even worse in the girls game. Okay. So when it comes to coaching girls in the clear, yes, I am taking a boys approach. And some people, I get it. And Michael Strakes probably give me shit. You probably give me a hard time right now. But the idea is that I want to think opportunistically, not fear of making a mistake. And that's what's critical. Okay. That's what's critical. All right. So let's keep that in the forefront. I will always coach like that because when I do goalie audits and my girls go out and they try some stuff, regardless of what their team does, they see the better result. right? And that's for goalies in Long Island, goalies in Atlanta, goalies in New York, goalies in Massachusetts, goalies in Florida. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody thinks, oh, well, it's different on our team. No, it's not different on your team. It's not different at all on your team. Okay. So be aggressive. Okay. Be aggressive in your thinking. And this is like a life lesson, right? Like, this isn't, it's that story of like the shoe salesman. The shoe company sends two salesmen to this Indian village, and this, I don't know if this is a real story or not, but it's just an anecdote that works, right? So shoe company sends shoe salesman to this remote village in India, and then they both the salesmen send emails back to their head office. First salesman says, horrible choice. Nobody wears shoes here. The other salesman says, tremendous opportunity. No one wears shoes here, right? So the idea, the idea is that there are bad coaches rampant in my opinion, not bad coaches in the entire game, but in the defensive half of the field, there are horrible coaches all the way from the D1 women's lacrosse level all the way down, okay, to your U6 tiny tyke first stick. Like, and I don't mean horrible people, okay? Great people. Sometimes they're horrible people. Like, there's some D1 coaches who are horrible people. But the point is that part of the game, the mentality is that, oh, we made a save. Let's hope we get in the offensive half of the field. When in fact, what I want to see happen is I want to see more coaches in the college ranks and even in the high school ranks go, all right, listen, this, and as Michael Strakes just put it, I hate watching the field players stand and walk with their stick high in the air, covered, thinking they're going to get a pass. You may as well. So one of my best lacrosse experiences as a high school player, I still remember this. Thank you, John Reese from Yale. I went to top 205 at Towson, which was like the top recruiting event like in the country at that time. Right now they're all over the place, but top 205 was the thing. And Dave Cottle, and I can't remember the other guy who ran it, but I went to that event, and I can't remember when it ended, but I think it ended on a Sunday, but they made this announcement. They're like, anybody who wants to stay in the area, there's this other event. And it was at GW Mix was the coach of Penn, and he's running it. And it was it was one of the first of its kind where teams came from different states. And I think the Colorado team didn't show up. So what they wanted to do is put together like an all-star team of the kids from 205, the kids who could stay and play. And I offered. And John Reese, who was one of the best midfielders in history from Yale in college lacrosse, was our coach. And we had a play. And the play was that there was like 5 seconds left to go in the quarter or the half or whatever, and the ball had gone off the end line, and we needed a scoring opportunity, and so we had a timeout. John drew up this play, and so our attackman that brought the ball in from the goal line, all he was going to do was lob the ball so it landed basically in the middle, like about 10 yards in front of the, less than that, like 5 yards in front of the goal. And so our offense, what they did was they started in a normal set, and then they just kind of crossed each other and drew the D to follow them. And they ended up in this big circle. And then everybody turned around real fast and went to basically slam dunk the ball into the net. And sure as shit, it worked. And we scored. I think of that every time I see a bad women's clear, because what teams are trying to do is less effective and more complicated than just throwing your entire team in the offensive half and hucking the ball we call it like a 50-50 ball. Either your team gets it or we get it. They have a better chance of duking it out, and it's safer in the offensive half than what they're doing on most of their clears. So I want to encourage moms and jeans, moms and jeans, Joe Rose, exactly. So what I want, I just want to see one, I, I want my athletes to take 100% responsibility on this and go, you know what? I hear Coach Edwards, my team is horrible at this. I got to make stuff happen. So how am I going to make stuff happen? I'm going to become better physically. I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to squat. I'm going to deadlift. I'm going to get strong on my hips. I'm going to outrun everybody. I don't care if I started playing goalie because I didn't like running. I'm over that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get strong on my arms. I'm going to throw laser passes, right? And you know what I'm going to do? Even because my coach, she's so clueless, or he's so clueless, is that I'm going to get with Karen and Jenny and Tamara. And we're going to get to, so because I like all those girls and I hate all the rest. They're bitches, all of them. So we're going to get with R3 and we're going to set up a little prep play on the sideline. And Tamara is going to pick for Karen. And then she's going to bump off of Jenny. And Cameron's going to go long. And I'm going to hit her with a pass like a laser because I've been working not on stupid wall ball drills, just bouncing the ball back and forth, not moving my hands. I'm going to learn how to throw this thing like I'm going to throw it through a pane of glass at the mall. Boom, through the window, right? Through the Victoria's Secret window, into the back, into like the underwear in the back section. It's going to go whizzing through everybody. And then I'm going to go to the Gap. I'm going to do it again. And sorry, I'm making it fun. Like don't get all upset at my jokes here, but please. All right. But the idea is that this goalie is going to take it on their own to go, we're going to figure this out. And we're going to not just clear the ball. We're going to score. Okay. We're going to create fast break opportunities. We're going to score. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to huck it long. And we're going to make something happen on the offensive end. All right. So that's my take, and I'm sticking with it. All right. And so if you've got a goalie, I want them to see the problem and to understand that they might have to take things into their own hands a little bit and get with a couple of their teammates and say, all right, listen, I know coach said that you guys are going to go over there and you guys are going to go over there and then you're going to run back and forth or whatever. Here's what I want you to do. And you're going to draw up a play like a football coach would, and they're going to get open, and your goalie's going to know when and where that player is going to be open, and they're going to hit them with a pass, and the entire sideline is going to go, holy shit, what just happened? That's what's going to change the game. All right, that's what's going to change the game. It's going to change your team. It's going to change everything else. All right, and your goalie, before you know it, is going to be recruited because some coach is going to go like, dang, that was pretty sweet. All right, haven't seen that before. All right. All right, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for listening wherever you are. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you like this, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. When you're ready, head on over to lacrossegoalieuniversity.com/coaching so I can work with you and your goalie. And while you're at it, check out athletespecific.com to learn more about mental performance and high performance. You may not know this, but I work with athletes in a variety of sports. Lacrosse is my love, but man, I love athletes and the families who support them. So head on over to athletespecific.com, check it out. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.